Welcome to another episode of the Environmental Dialogue here at UCTV. I am your host, Dickens Ochero, for this show, always on your television, every Wednesday from 8 to 9. That's live on TV, then from 9 to 10 p.m. in the evening. We are also live on YouTube. That's why we always encourage you to keep on your dialogue and keep on watching, sharing all this information that we explore together with my guests. And you know that today we have a very wonderful topic here that we are going to explore with these young people who have joined me here in the studio. And we encourage you that please don't leave your remote. Just keep it locked at UCTV Environmental Dialogue as we explore more and more. Without going into our topical discussion today, I want to tell you that we are organizing something big and better, where we are going to be at Kololo ceremony on 24th of November. We are going to be with the whole team. My producer Lam will be there. My guest will be there, where we are going to have over 50,000 guests for the UNSTG run. Because before that, we are going to also have a breakfast meeting, the National Dialogue on things to do with sustainability. When we are talking of SDG, that's Sustainable Development Goals, you understand what we are driving into. And you know, when we are talking about this, it means that we want to uplift everything that concerns us in our environment. Wow, that is it, which I had to communicate to you, my dear viewers. Without waste of time, let me go to my guest. Here with me, I have wonderful guests. They are young with a lot of energy, with a lot of vigor. And someone might ask that, why have you host only ladies today? No, there is a reason why we need them. Because, you know, things quite concerned with environment. The greatest percentage of people who contribute or add or subtract in our environment are women. That's the reason why the statistics states that 80% of women in Uganda, especially in the rural, they are the one who use firewood for cooking. And now these young women have come and to discuss all this matter concerning regarding to urbanization and its environmental impact. And that's the reason why they are here today, so that we explore this together. Let me get back to them. I start from the one on my left to introduce ourselves and say something before I go to my other visitor, my other guest on our left hand side, and then we shall introduce the topical discussion and we explore it together. So you're most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Mercy Mugume. I'm at Kyambogo, pursuing Bachelor of Management Science. Dear viewers of UCTV, I'm here to talk about a wonderful topic, you guys. You guys don't touch the dial, just listen to us. Thank you.
All right, then. Yeah, let's go to your colleague. Yes, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, moderator. I'm called Edith Chepkwemoi, a student at Kyambogo University. I'm in my third year, pursuing a bachelor's degree in arts with education, and I'm serving as a GRC, that same faculty, and trained as female representative to the University Council. And I also serve in my small association, which brings all students from Bukwa district, that is called BUSDA, as the president. This morning, I'm delighted to be here. It is a privilege to be in such a space, UCTV. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity, and we are honored and ready to discuss more with you people. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Edith. She's a leader herself. That's why she's leading by example, and she has that voice. And leaving Kapchora to come to Kampala, she had promised not to do nothing but to do something as Edith, because she carries the mantle of leadership in her, and that's the reason why she's here to anchor out our voice to the young people. The young people out there who are at school, who are at secondary school, lower primary level, everywhere, so that to believe in yourself and know that you can do something. And that's the reason why Edith is here with Mercy. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Our topic today is urbanization and its environmental impact in our city, in our community. You've seen that the report right now says that the colonial government had planned for only 1 million people in the city of Kampala. But right now, with the rapid growth around our city, that we are seeing very many people are coming in the city, the refugees, people from rural areas now that we call that rural to urban migration. We have the refugee migration. We have all sorts of people coming from the walk of life into the city. And the government, according to the government, or the Lord Mayor was saying that the plan that they had only for the city was for 1.8 million people in the city. But now that we are having over 5 million people, what can we do? It goes back to us, the young people, especially you people who are still at school, because I know that it's just remaining a small time for you people to leave school, then you are going to join us. But even before leaving, we know that you are people part of this population. And if you ever ask yourself, why is it everyone is leaving Kapchora to come to the city to education? Can the government construct a university there? Why is it that Mercy is leaving maybe Mbarara to come to Kampala? Is there not a best, like the government cannot build a best university there? That can really. That's the reason why we are here to explore this together. And that's the reason, Mercy, why I can say that. Can you explain really that's this current state of the urbanization in Uganda and Africa? Can you explain it really?
Okay. So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
When we are talking about urbanization, this is the rapid growth of cities, rapid growth of people in cities. Like cities are growing every day. You see, when you look at Uganda as Uganda as a country, the more cities, the more there is a population growth in the cities than it is in the villages. And this is when we look at the population growth in cities, it is to an extent of high. It is high, it is so high to the extent of there is what can I say? Okay, it has brought about many challenges in the city. Take a look at the universities. People come from very far. I personally, from where I come from Barara. So look at the state where I come from, Barara. No need to study in Kampala. So I think the government should really do something about that. Honestly, there is. I think the government should just extend more resources. It should extend more infrastructure in the villages. In that, they should reduce the population in Kampala. And the increased cities, the increased urbanization the urbanization in Kampala has brought many things, many problems that can be addressed. For example, look at we are having congestion. It is really creating more congestion. There is a lot of congestion in the city. And what congestion is bringing? Congestion is bringing a lot. Honestly, it is really a lot. In that, okay, like a case in point, there is a lot of traffic jam. I'll go. I have a job. I have an office to handle. I have clients waiting for me. I'll go for jam from maybe I wake up at 6. Go for jam from 6. Sit in jam for about 3 hours. Honestly, So I think the government should supply, it should enhance the opportunities from town to villages, so that there is limited congestion, in that people get to their work in time, people do their jobs in time, people reduce that quality of wastage of time. It creates a wastage of time because people really people just waste time in that, waiting for what's going to come out. So I really think urbanization in Kampala is on high demand. It is complex. It is so tight, in that it should be reduced. That's what I really have to say about Kampala. But it is really, I think the government should come in. It should intervene, to do something. Thank you.
All right, then let me go to Edith. Edith, you have heard what your colleague has said, and you have experienced what's happening within our city, and if sometimes even you have tried to move out of Uganda, you have witnessed what was happening in the cities. So can you really explain the current state of the urbanization, especially in Uganda, in our city? Because you've moved, like when you go that side of Kyambogo, you're seeing too much road construction going on. There is a lot of things going on. So, can you explain it for the viewers?
Thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. First of all, I would like to thank my colleague for giving us a brief information about urbanization. When I was growing up, I used to hear about the definition, because by then I think it was called SST. In P4. What is urbanization? Of course, we would say is the movement of people from rural areas to urban areas looking for what? For greener pastures. Now, I didn't know much about it, because I just used to look at it as something that is just like, because you know when you're still a kid, you do not have a lot of expectation, because now you're in the village, you don't know what happens in urban areas. So now, it is now of late when I realize that, so it is true. Kumba people leave the villages and come to urban areas in search of greener pastures. Now, it brings us to the current state of Uganda. When you look at Uganda, the Uganda we live today, you realize that most of the people want to be in urban areas. And the question is why? Why don't these people want to be in rural areas? Why? Why urban centers? Kampala right now is full of young people. What is the problem? Can the rural areas provide opportunities for the young people? That is the question that goes back to the government of Uganda. So most of these graduate. I have very many colleagues who have graduated, but they don't want to go home. Why? There are no opportunities in the village. So at the end of the day, most of the young people are within Kampala. When you look at most of these cities, it is dominated by people who do not have what to do. They are looking for life to survive, because they believe they still have the other mindset that we got when we were still in primary, that when you go to urban centers, they are greener pastures. So they want to remain in these greener pastures to get opportunities. But unfortunately, the so-called opportunities do not also exist.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't exist. So at the end of the day, a lot is happening. Now, what happens? What is the end result? The current state of Uganda, we have a lot that is ongoing. Most of these good schools are posted in Kampala, posted in Bali, posted in Weya. Now, what do you expect in the village? Do you think someone will be there and feel very comfortable? People have now a mindset where they think when you are in the village, you cannot make it in life. And that is what is killing us. The fact that people think if you're in the village, you cannot make it. We live in that state now where we believe that unless you get to the city, you will not make it in life. Now there is a new statement which is ongoing. People say, we shall not go back to the village unless we are going to change the village. Now, tell me, Mr. Dixon, what does that mean? We shall not go back to the village unless we make it. Now, when you come to the city, there are no jobs. There are no opportunities. What are these men doing? They are struggling.
And they're living our gardens.
They're living the garden work. Yet that is how Africans used to be divine. That was our divinity.
And they complain of prices of food.
Now they are complaining, the government is raising the prices of food, but they are not working. They are not going to the garden. They want white collar jobs. Really? Which kind of life are we living? So at the end of the day, urbanization has come in with so many things. So there is a very big need. There is a very big gap that needs to be put in place. If the government can come up with some other best things to be put in place. For example, let's talk about these industries. Sincerely, why Kampala alone?
Yeah.
Why? Universities, best universities, why Kampala alone? Good schools, why Kampala alone? Can't we advocate? Can't we also preach such kind of equality in the rural areas so that we are able to tell these people that even when you are in the rural area, you can still make it in life, not only in urban centers? Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that exploration. Without you, first hold back, you're not here. With all this rapid growth that you've said, that is in the city, and we have witnessed always people living villages, rural areas, and they come to the city and they don't want. You've seen even the Karamojongs, young ones are there. The cases has tried even to remove them or what, but they still what? Get back. They have tried. We have seen the city council have tried even during the NAM summit.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying, but still we are saying they're still back. Very many street children, they are still in the city, flogging the city, coming every day.
Yeah.
So with all this rapid growth, what are the environmental impact that we are seeing right now? What are those environmental impact in the city right now that we are seeing?
No, that one I go straight to the state where we live in right now. Right now there is a lot of traffic congestion in Kampala specifically. First, let me talk about Kampala city. If at all, let's say you have an appointment with someone, if it is strictly at 7, trust me, Mr. Dixon, you need to leave home at 4.
That's true.
Because really, it is terrible. The jam is too much. That even people are just moving without clear vision. They don't know where they're going. But at the end of the day,
but
they are moving. Yes. They're looking for jobs. They're looking for survival. They move each and every other passing day. But of course now for us, we would say that is one of the impacts of urbanization. At the end of the day, we have a lot of traffic jam along the way. We are unable to meet up with different appointments, engagements, because our roads are so much congested. Maybe the government should do something about it, improvise a different kind of stuff. Now let's talk about air pollution. There are very many vehicles that are running right now. And now what happens at the end of the day? Our air that we put in is diluted, is polluted. At the end of the day, you realize that our lives are at higher risk. Talk about the issue of the wetlands, encroachment of the wetlands. We used to have wetlands that were there basically to keep our land, to keep us safe from this flooding. Now, right now, because those wetlands have been destroyed, we are unable, we are not safe. Now, these times we have heavy rains, but what happens? At the end of the day, you find sometimes here in Kampala, when it rains heavily, there is a lot of flooding. Vehicles are unable to move, motorbikes are unable to move. That means we are living in a state whereby we are not safe. Our lives are at risk. The flooding is threatening our lives. That means there is a very big gap that needs to be handled with immediate effect. Thank you.
Okay. Going to Mercy. Mercy, with all this rapid growth that you have said in the city, what are the primary environmental impacts that we are seeing right now?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dickens. Looking at the primary environmental impacts, first of all, let's look at the waste management. The waste management in Kampala. Let's take a look at the Stezi,
Dungu.
Sekando.
Yeah.
You know, people died. People lost their loved ones because of the garbage covered people. You know, and this is brought by many people. Like the government doesn't have a proper place of disposing of the rubbish.
That's true.
Which is becoming something hectic. Honestly, people are losing their loved ones. The kids are orphans right now because they lost their loved ones.
Yeah.
Another point is let's look at the waterways, the urban waterways. The urban waterways are really so blocked. In that, let's look at the waterways in urban areas. You know, water we use in Kampala, people use the treated water. So the waterways are really so, because people dispose of everywhere, anywhere they see. They dispose of rubbish anywhere they see. So the water we are taking in is so harmful for our life. It is risking our life. It is reducing our lifespan. In that we take in the treated water that has that is really can I say it is dirty? Yes, it's just treated, but at the same time it's dirty. It's hence like risking our lives. Let's look at the heat issue.
The heat wave issues.
Yes. When if you take a clear example of Kampala, there is a lot of heat in Kampala.
That's true.
Yes, there is a time when there is a lot of heat, in that you cannot every time you be sweating. This is caused by the congestion in the city. There are many people, and we are all competing for that,
Same space.
Same space. Hence using this artificial aeration. Yes. And sometimes it is really so harmful to our bodies, you feel. So now there is also a point of, can I say, what is it called? The water pollution, I talked about it. The air pollution, because of the fumes, we all consuming the same fumes and all that. There is a thing of diseases. We are on an increase of diseases. Cholera is so much, typhoid is so much. In that people, because of the poor disposal, we still come back to the poor disposal of rubbish. It also drives from that. People are disposing of rubbish anywhere, anyhowly, and people are like these kids. They eat dirty things. Those germs come in. Honestly, it is also increasing with the death rates of people because of diseases like that. Yeah, thank you.
All right then. We have seen how my guests really are trying to explore more and more. I told you they are not only students, but there are students who are seeing the impact of this urbanization in our cities, and that's the reason why, as they are still students, they still have ideas. They want to come up with certain things that the government can do, or themselves even right now they are trying to practice within their own jurisdictions, that someone can embrace, or the government can embrace the alternative, because it's not all about lamenting every time, complaining every time, but to look for a solution. And that's the reason why we are delving into this issue together. Let me just, without waste of time, we first go for a short commercial break and we shall get back. Thank you.
UCTV, good news for all.
Support the Uganda Catholic Television with MTN Momo. Step 1. Dial *165*3#. Step 2. Enter merchant code 180572. Step 3. Enter any amount from 500 Uganda shillings. Step 4. Pay using MTN mobile money. Step 5. Enter PIN code and send. Step 6. You will receive a confirmation text for supporting the Uganda Catholic Television.
I am Father Son Augustine Masbreka, bring you inspiration quotes on this UCTV, and don't miss good news for all. Thank you.
Ronaldo down in the area, penalty!
Don't miss the Sports Link on UCTV. Catch us every Monday to Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. as we take you into the thrilling world of sports in football.
And Messi! Thuram! Mbappe!
Saka shoot, deflects in, Arsenal have the lead!
Netball,
Nasanga taking the shot, and look at that exceptional steal.
motorsports, boxing, swimming, and much more. UCTV Sports Link with Samgenza Mustafa. Only on UCTV. Good news for all.
Hi, my name is Flavia Kunihira. I'm the Publicity Officer for Caritas Uganda. Caritas was founded in 1958. Our mandate is to coordinate the mission of charity in the Catholic Church, effectively build the capacity of the Caritas departments in the dioceses to respond to the needs of the poor, influence government policies in favor of the poor and marginalized, as well as mobilize resources to continue serving and improving the lives of the poor in the country. Join us for Caritas Focus on UCTV.
UCTV, good news for all.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. I'm still here with my guests, exploring and delving into very many topical issues concerning our urbanization and its environmental impact in our cities. That's the reason why we are here to think together, explore this together, my dear viewers. And right now, we are going to the solution. With all these issues cropping out in our environment, in our city, what are the solutions that we can do? That's why I've come to you. What are the solutions that you think that maybe with the young people we can come? Because there was a UN report that says that by 2050 there will be 60% of people living in the cities or urban area, which it is said that this would be a problem. Because if everyone lives the rural areas, what are they going to eat in the city? Are they going also to wait for erratic rain like we're seeing in cities like Dubai are expressing? Or maybe they will think of that AI will help them out with the production of food. But we know that AI is not all everything. So what are the solutions that you think that the government can embrace, or maybe the community can embrace, with all these people living rural areas coming to urban areas, and we are seeing all this traffic of things around the city? So what are the solutions?
Oh, thank you. What I can say about that, I really think the government should bring out programs to sensitize the youth. When we have to look at the people in towns, like in urban areas, most of the highest percentage, it is us, the youth. We are leaving the villages. We are looking for white collar jobs. We are in, I think our curriculum is that it was like teaching us to be job seekers than job makers. So what the government is really doing by bringing up this new curriculum, it is really nice, because it is creating job makers than job seekers than us. So I really think the government should keep on bringing up programs to sensitize the youth about how they can be creative, the extent of they can bring out something big in villages. The villages have people run from the villages to come to towns because they think there is no success in villages. So they think when they come to towns,
that's the fallacy they have.
Yes, that's their mentality, that's their perspective. Because they see people in towns, they earn a lot, they drive cars, so they really want those white collar jobs. So I think the government is in to provide those learning sections of bringing in people who have been successful in villages. So to these youth, they really have to enhance their thinking about that. What I can say about that, what I can throw more light on that, there is a thing of recycling, like waste reduction and recycling. The youth should get involved in that.
Like applying the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Exactly. So I think instead of staying in slums, instead of being hackers, instead of what, because there is a lot of theft by youth in towns, because they really have nothing to eat. They're looking for ways of survival. Of course, they'll go to towns, they'll rob, they'll do that for survival. So I think they should involve themselves in recycling things. They can look for bottles, they recycle bottles and and they survive. Yeah. And one other point is the efficient transport systems. Yeah, my colleague talked about the jam in town. So I think the government should come up with more construction of roads, more construction, engaging these youth in activities like that, so they can promote the transportation of things, and that eases the movement of people in doing their activities and all that. Yeah, thank you.
All right, then let me go to Edith. Edith, you say that people are leaving really villages, are flocking to the cities, where they're making really the cities, staying even the city is really hard, and they're moving without even reason or the vision that they need to do this and this, but you find them moving, flocking the city. So what can really the government do, or what can we embrace as we in the community, or we the young leaders, the climate activists, because we see that their movement, which has led to a rapid growth in the city and an abnormal increment in the city, which is not planned for, is causing a lot of environmental impact. So which is both, others are both really, I see that are both really negative. There is nothing. If we are seeing places like Chezi killing people, we are seeing places like Luigi has been eaten up by settlement. So it means that there is really a very big impact which this population is causing in the city. So what can we do really? Should we put like security around the borders, or should we so that whoever is moving going to the city needs first to report to the LC1 or to the police? So what can we do really, Edith?
Thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. I think here the government plays a very key role.
Yes.
I would like to begin in that manner. In a way that currently we have so many universities in Uganda, about 100 and plus.
That's true.
And every year, Uganda is graduating more than thousands graduates. And the question is, where does the government expect these young people to go after their graduation? So at the end of the day, you realize that they do not have opportunities. They are stranded. So my appeal can be like this. If the government is able to create more opportunities for the growing population, because yes, Uganda is growing every other day. Our population is increasing in a crazy way. But unfortunately, we do not have opportunities that are increasing. Like employment opportunities, they are not increasing. But rather, it's only the population which is increasing. So that means that if the government is able to improvise opportunities for these young men, I feel like we may not have a lot of stagnation within these urban centers. What happens if a government sets up an industry in a rural area and facilitates it very well? Because I believe that in our country we have so many resources. We have natural resources, because that is how Africa is. Even in Uganda here, we still have those resources. Can we identify a certain resource in a certain rural area, and maybe we set an industry there so that we are able to keep these young men engaged, employed in the villages, that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, we be reducing the population in urban centers. We keep them engaged. Now, secondly, I would like to talk about, I talked about flooding. Now, flooding is a natural factor, although it can be worked upon. How? Can we set up sustainable drainage systems? I am so much convinced that the government cannot fail to do that, because it is just a matter of identifying those crucial areas where you see that here has to be worked upon. There is a need, because people are living in a state whereby their lives are at risk because of things that can be worked upon. If at all the government is able to put in place sustainable drainage system, we will be fighting a very big barrier, which is flooding. Then also, Mr. Dixon, there was a time that Mr. President, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, he talked about improvising electric bicycles, motorcycles actually.
Yes.
I don't know where that thing ended because I did not follow so well. But yeah, it's such a good one. It's such a good one, because when you look at we talked about air pollution.
Yes.
If the government is able to develop to that extent where we are able to improvise electric vehicles, electric motorcycles, at the end of the day, we shall be reducing the air pollution.
Yeah.
Then we also talked about the issue of congestion. There is a lot of traffic jam. Yes, I believe the government is doing a lot. We have roads. Yeah, we really appreciate the government. But our appeal is, can we still have more roads within urban centers? Can we still have other diverting? You see, when you look at this main road which goes to Mbale City Road, most times it is full of traffic jam. By the time someone reaches Mukono that side, you can even spend like 3 hours on the way. But our request is, can the government improvise at least another route, because we believe that even them, they are watching. They know what is going on, but it is our
Not only watching, they are using even
yes,
the
they are also using the facility. So that means that there is a gap. If at all we are able to improvise and improve on our transportation, we would have done something very big. We appreciate the government because they are really doing well, but we are just appealing that if at all we are able to be to improvise more of it, we shall be fighting a very big factor. And at the end of the day, most of these people who end up losing their appointments, their jobs or contract whatsoever because of late coming, we would have dealt with it. At the end of the day, we are securing the future and the young people, basically, because most of us, we do not drive. Well, sometimes even we do not have money for motorcycles and all that. So sometimes but if at all we are able to work on that issue, even the transportation fee reduces.
Yeah.
Because now if there is no jam, the vehicle is able to move faster. Even the motorcycle is able to move faster. And at the end of the day, services are done in a quicker way. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think with that, and then also maybe to summarize on this, I want to tell my viewers, our people, that it is my responsibility and your responsibility to make sure that our environment is secured.
Yeah.
Now, this takes me back to how do you, like for instance, if you take water, how do you deposit that bottle? These pieces of papers, these pieces of whatsoever, all those things that you use, caveras and all that. It is your responsibility and my responsibility to make sure that we live in a safer and clean environment by participating, not every time saying government. You are a government as a person, as an individual. It begins from you. How are you practicing? How are you ensuring that our environment is kept safe? Even your own home. How is it? How are you keeping it? Thank you so much.
All right then. Thank you, Edith, for that. Oh, without you, let me go to Edith, to Mercy. Mercy. Yeah. What she has said about she talked about sustainability, and sustainability is the biggest concept right now that is discussed global at the globe. Even right now at COP, what they are focusing right now is sustainability. Now, how can the government balance this environmental or this city growth with the sustainability, with environmental sustainability?
Okay, thank you so much, moderator. Talking about that, the government should just come up with, green infrastructures. Because of many people in Uganda, we are losing the green, like our green environment.
Yeah, the green spaces.
Yeah, the green spaces, thank you.
Yeah.
People are cutting down wetlands, people are cutting down forests in that look for spaces for constructing, to start up their businesses, to construct houses. So I think the government should just come out with green infrastructure, the greenhouses and all that. For example, let's talk about this guy who was green. What is his name? He's in Entebbe. Ham. The ham flowers.
Yeah, ham flowers.
So so this guy is really bringing out the green pasture. So long as no matter how the green space is being misused and and brought down, but he has tried bringing it out. He has encouraged the youth that they can. There are many youth employed in that thing. There are so many, and they're earning. They're surviving because of that. And they can even borrow ideas from that. They can, because I have a feeling they will learn more about flowers and the green management and all that. So I really think the government should just put a hand in, like what my colleague said. We are the government. Yes, I think we should sensitize our fellows. If you know something about this, let's sensitize people about how we can keep our green environment clean, how we can adjust on the utilization, how we can adjust on the disposal of rubbish. Yeah. And to continue with that, there is integration of the transport systems, as she said. I think to sustain our living, I think there should be some integration a bit.
Like introduction of public transport, exactly. Or more of bicycles that she has said.
Exactly, so that people can.
Like China.
Yes, exactly. So as she said, I think the government, every time even the government supplied bicycles rural areas.
But those were NRM schools.
Yes, they were my school, but it also motivated people. People used them in doing the activities. So it was really a motivative part of it. Like people came to people used the bicycles for their activities and all that. And there is also, I talked about the waste management. It is really something so big. It should be done by people. People should really get sensitized about that. As she said, I still come back to her point. We are the government. We shouldn't put the whole blame or the whole burden on government. We as people can start up our own small groups. Like we get a company, we recycle our bottles and make something beautiful. To continue with that, I think the government should also put in more opportunities, because this urbanization is brought in by the growth of more economic activities in the cities. So I think it should enhance. It should throw more of the economic activities in the villages, because this is where we get the resources from.
Yeah.
I think when we sit down as government or as people, as ourselves, we see we can utilize the resources in the villages, utilize them to bring out something big. I think there should be industries, factories that can also supply to the urban areas. Like
Bubu, buy Uganda, build Uganda.
Exactly, because there are more resources in the villages than it is this side. So, and it should open our minds that we should use those resources. Yeah, thank you.
All right then. You have said that my guests are trying really to, explore for you a lot of things which are happening within the city, and also their ideas, what the government can do, and what themselves even can do as the young people, and encouraging you. It's just because of time we would go into a lot of things with them. That's the reason why I want them right now to give their recommendation. Because of time, they are going to give you your recommendation. What are your take back home, or what can you learn from their engagement or the discussion today? So let me start with Edith. Edith, what are your recommendations to the viewers that are watching you?
Thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. I would say that looking at environment, it is one of the most crucial figure around, and I would like to inform and reach out to my viewers this morning that first of all, I love to say this: you are the government and I am the government. It is your responsibility and my responsibility to make sure that we live in a safer place. Starting from you as a person, what are you doing before we reach out to the government and see what is the government doing? Ask yourself that question. What am I doing? In as far as the issue environment is concerned, what am I doing as a citizen of Uganda? That one is the first one. The next one is, I want to advise my colleagues, the young people, that let us try to use every opportunity that we get. Let us not underlook certain opportunities. When we talked about recycling and all that. Those are some of the things that helps us to even work on the issues of environment. And at the end of the day, you are able to get something to earn a living. Instead of us saying we are looking for white-collar jobs and all that, can't we begin from something small? Can't we begin by those small things, small opportunities that come around before maybe even, you see, there is a saying that even God will not entrust you with a big thing, Mr. Dixon, if you're not performing the little one well.
Yeah.
So you have to, you really have to do something so that even God can be convinced and brings a better opportunity for you.
True.
So it is our responsibility as the young people to make sure that we come out and we also prove this is the elder people who say that young people do not know how to do certain things. Let us come out. Yes, no, we are disorganized. No, let us come out vigorously and we prove them wrong by doing the right thing, that we also can do certain things, and in a very right way, by the way. even without them knowing it. We do some of the things perfectly, however much we need their guidance. So the young people, we shouldn't sit on our opportunities. We shouldn't sit down and watch things go wrong and we say that the government. Let's wake up and do what we best can do. And then finally, as I conclude, as our population is growing, the government should also improvise opportunities. They should create more opportunities for the young people, because we shouldn't just look at the population grow, but also let us grow opportunities. Finally, let us sustain these schools that we open up in the village. We have hospitals, we have schools, we have businesses, but at the end of the day, they are not enhanced. They are not doing well. What is the problem? Can the government reach out, come out and see how best we can manage such facilities? See how best we can advocate? See how best we can inform our people that even when you receive medication from this hospital here, you can still get healed and everything becomes okay. So with those few remarks, thank you so much, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, Edith. Let me go to Mercy. You have heard she has said that before the young people to ask the government to yambe, what can the government do for them? They need to get back to the concept of former American president, that's J.F. Kennedy, that what can you do for your country? You should not ask what your country should do for you, but you should ask yourself what you can do for your country. And I think that's what the new curriculum is asking you people at school now. All right, then you give us your recommendation, the young people there, to the community and to the government.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yeah. So as I'm concluding, there is something they say, charity begins at home, but shouldn't end there. Let's just wake up. I mean, let's just wake up. Let's start with our own selves, with our own. We are Kyambogo. Let's start with our own Kyambogo. I think when we put that innovation, sector or session, I think people will learn from that. Let's start from the small thing we have, and we shall grow up to become something big. Yeah, so that's what I can advise you all to do. Let's just wake up as the youth. Let's just because we really have. We are the ones that we are the same people who have those creative minds. We are so young to think beyond the box. So I think we should really wake up, do something out of everything, do something out of the small things we are starting with, and then I think urbanization will be reduced and the environment will go back to normal. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Edith. Thank you, Mercy. As they say that every sweet thing always comes to an end. Everything has always the beginning and the end. Just because of the time limit and time factor, we need to respect time. If you respect also the people, our viewers, we need to respect time, because everything is always put according to time. And that's the reason why we are here every Wednesday to just explore more and more on the environmental dialogue. We don't only discuss about climate change or rain, we discuss very many things. If we are speaking of environment, it means renewable energy, it means climate change, it means mitigation, adaptation, very many things that really we all unchill and we digest, so that you, the viewers, get informed, you learn from us, you research even, and you join us in this topical discussion that we always be having every Wednesday. And that's the reason why we are always powered by UCTV, that's Uganda Catholic Television, and Caritas Uganda, the Catholic Secretariat, has made all this happen. Without them, you will not be on here, you will not be watching my beautiful guests here, who have always taken time to come and join us for this topical discussion. I remain Dickens Ochero. So for any comment, for anything you want really to comment about, we have our YouTube channel. You can drop your comment at our comment section there at the YouTube channel, or any of our social media pages, Twitter page, the X page, the Facebook page, or the LinkedIn. And you can really comment our videos. You share your thoughts. If maybe there is something that you want us to help you with, there is someone maybe doing something which is not right in the community that you want our help, we can communicate. We can really link you up with the agency, the coordinating partner who can come in touch with you and help you in your community. That's the reason why we are here. We want to thank you for your time, our dear visitors, visitors who are here, my guests. This place is for you. In case of anything, anytime, feel free to come and join us to share with the community, because we need to really share our knowledge. I myself promise that I need to share with the community my knowledge, the wisdom that God has bestowed upon my life, until that by the time you go to the grave, when you're empty, you don't die with your knowledge. And that's the reason why we are here every Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Keep your locked, keep your screen always every Wednesday on environmental talk show or conversation that we'll be having from 8 to 9 live on UCTV, and from 9 to 10 on our UC and at our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Share the video, like the video, so that this message can reach all over the world. Thank you very much. See you next week on Wednesday. Bye bye.